what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video once it has rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Alan, The Plain Truth, Sleeping Warrior, Ranty Flat Earth, Jose, Mike, Earth Flattener, Chocolate, and Brandon. Good to have you all. Shout out to Michael for the super chat.
Yo.
Hello, hello.
Where's Bill Miller?
So, Alan, in the break we were talking about stuff, and I asked you why was it that you're here? Why did you come today? Because I made the assertion that you were poisoning the well, and your answer was you came here to debate. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and if anybody in the panel disagrees, now's the time to challenge it. But I don't actually recall Alan debating anything because he always maintains a neutral Switzerland position. Am I right?
No.
You don't debate anybody, Alan. You always maintain neutrality.
He hasn't debated anything. He was just here to discredit me.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let's hold on for a second. Right. But if we were in an actual debate, poisoning the well is a foul.
Yeah, it's a foul.
So it's not debate.
Correct. It falls outside of the debate. So the claim by Alan is that he's here to debate. Nathan, would you present my screen for me, please?
Sure.
So I've just pulled up a quick definition of the poison in the well fallacy, right? Just so that people that are not familiar. It's a type of informal logical fallacy where irrelevant adverse information about a target, in this case Mike, is preemptively presented to an audience with the intention of discrediting or ridiculing something that the target person is about to say. Well, in this case, it's about to do. It seems like a textbook poison in the well fallacy, but you claim that you're here to debate. So my question now is, what's your intention, Alan?
Sorry, Tony.
Did you come in to poison the well along with Rumpus in the chat, Alan?
It's a fairly reasonable question. If that guy's so good at audio, why doesn't he work in the industry? What's wrong with that as a question?
Yeah, but you said it was how convenient when he gave his answer. And let's be honest, there are numerous people. It's a high percentage of people that leave university with some element of education and then don't go into the industry that they've learned about.
Tony, I started by writing adverts. You start at the bottom.
Right, but my question is, why did you come in today? If it wasn't to debate, because you don't ordinarily debate, and you did commit the informal logical fallacy of poisoning the well because you tried to ridicule the guy based on what he was about to tell us that he's about to do. What is your intention? Why did you come in today?
Do I have to explain everything to you? I just swung by.
But I'm just wondering why it is that you would come in to specifically poison the well.
You paranoid?
No.
No, he's not paranoid. You've specifically come in with the intention of discrediting somebody before they've done anything, then claim that you're here to debate.
Let's debate.
So you're going to swerve the answer?
No, I came in to ask two reasonable questions.
No, that's not asking reasonable questions. What you tried to do was ridicule the man. You were laughing at him.
I asked two reasonable questions. If you're so good with audio, why doesn't he work in the industry? And
no, that's irrelevant, Alan. That's irrelevant because we already.
Does he believe he give an unbiased opinion? And I believe the answer would be no.
Okay, Alan. No. Hold on, please. Let me just say this. Okay, we already established his credits, and then Mike established his promise to approach the interpretation as honestly as possible. So we had already established your 2 questions that you came in and reiterated, but your coming in to ask those questions was not honest. It was to poison the well.
No, you just jumped to a conclusion.
No, Alan, no.
No,
Why
you
would
That's
Alan?
not a conclusion.
No,
you
Alan,
said
no.
you
Let
agreed
me ask
to
the
it.
question
Or-
again. Hold on.
Don't talk.
Hold on. Alan,
Don't talk.
why would you ask 2 questions that were previously covered and answered?
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were. Hello, Alan, anybody home?
No, they weren't. He didn't
Yes, they were. I
explain.
specifically asked him.
He didn't
I was the person specifically asking him those
didn't
questions.
explain why he doesn't
Yeah,
work.
he's now rumpusing Shane, while Shane points out that absolutely this was covered. So what Alan's now doing is rumpusing the hangout and talking all over Shane, so Shane won't get to make his point. He will get to make his point, Alan, which is that this was covered. Either you're deaf, or you're stupid, or you're lying.
Who's Shane?
Me.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll point it out again while that little distraction from Alan took place. So, who gives a crap? The person that was talking was pointing out that this was absolutely covered.
no.
Oh, no, the hand wave dismissal from Alan. Yeah, okay, you're clearly a retard who doesn't listen.
Alan, your question of whether or not he is in the field of his degree is irrelevant.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it
He's
is.
trained in it, Alan. That's what the requirement is. It's not whether he's in practice.
Hello, Alan, anybody home?
Hi, Shane.
Hello.
So now you swerved the question, and now you're ignoring the.
No, I'm not. I asked 2 reasonable questions. That's that.
Not really.
Sorry,
You tried
they've
to
already
ridicule the
you've
guy
not addressed
based on
what. So we've just moved past that, have we? Shane has just pointed out that they were already covered. Are you just gonna ignore that now and talk over me?
Oh, come on then, angry man. Shout at me for 10
Sorry,
minutes.
are you going to ignore what Shane has just said to you and reassert your position again? Are you
Yes.
deaf? Are you deaf to what he just said the second time?
Let's move on.
No, let's not move on.
And you are going to give an unbiased opinion, Alan? Come on.
Yes.
You're a walking, talking contradiction, man.
In what way?
Well, the display of character here.
Reasonable question, I believe.
No, it's not. It's a reasonable question if you don't laugh after your questions.
Am I not allowed to laugh? Are you in control of me? Do you dictate what I do?
What was his
Yeah,
answer?
but it
Hold
does
on,
reveal your
hold
intentions
on,
when you
Mike,
approach
hold
it
on.
with ridicule.
Alan, what was his answer?
They couldn't find a job that would suit him or big enough to suit him.
No, he didn't say that. He said there was that many other people with the same qualification. It was almost
he said
impossible
that
to wait out the time needed or have somebody
Which is
in the
bullshit.
industry that could get him into the job.
Absolute bullshit.
Sorry, no,
Really?
okay, it's okay, Ranty, hold on. Just reiterate it again. Can you just repeat what he said as far as you are concerned, Alan? Can you just give us that, please?
Well, he said what Ranty said, and then he went on to say that he couldn't find a position that was big enough for him, or what he believed was good enough for him.
Okay, and
Yeah,
you're,
but you
and you're-
also interrupted me.
sorry, hold
before
on,
I
Mike,
could-
hold on 1 second. So, now my next question, why wasn't it funny this time around?
What do you mean?
You didn't laugh when you just reiterated what he said that you thought was funny when he said it. You're not laughing. You've got no intonation in your voice that this is in any way humorous when you repeated it back to me. I'm
Well, it
asking.
is-
hadn't
is
finished. Hadn't
utterly
finished.
ridiculous.
Hadn't
I don't care
finished.
whether you've
Hadn't
finished or not, you
finished.
angry
Hadn't
bitch.
finished. My question is, why isn't it funny the second
It's-
time around?
it is-
You're just going to rumpus
it's
me, are you,
funny-
Alan?
it's funny
While
that
we
a
hold
man,
your toes
a
to the
grown
fire, my
man-
friend. No need to rumpus. I will get my question out. Why
Okay,
wasn't
go
it
ahead,
funny
fat.
the second time around?
Come on, fathead. What's your...
Sorry, is that your reply? Come on, fathead. Yeah, I'll just ask it again for a third time. Let's see if you continually rumpus the hangout while I do so. So, why didn't you laugh the second time?
Well, equally, I do find it hilarious that somebody spends 4 years training for something and can't find a position that's big enough at the beginning
The
of a career.
opportunity. isn't
Sorry,
there,
hold
it's
on,
not
hold on,
very
guys,
variable.
hold on.
It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious.
Sorry, please don't swear, because obviously you want to get kicked out now. Again, third time, I don't hear any humorous tone in your voice. You are not laughing. You are saying it's hilarious, but you are not laughing. You are not displaying any signs of this being hilarious. You're just saying it to poison the well.
4 years. Waste.
Sorry, you're just now saying assertions of nonsense about the length of time again, continuing to poison the well and Rumpus the Hangout. Well, I'm not going to tolerate it, Alan. You didn't laugh because it's not hilarious. Hysterical things make people laugh. You're not laughing because it's not funny. You're just here to poison the well.
Let's let Mick answer this then.
Go on, Mick.
Yeah, Alan. You interrupted me, or somebody interrupted me without me finishing what I was about to say. I said I couldn't find a job in the industry, so I became a self-employed audio engineer for 3 years.
Good work.
Yes, so I did work in the industry, you fathead.
Okay.
You notice how Alan laughed that time? When he was demonstrated to be stupid, he laughed. Hilarious.
Yeah, he's disingenuous. He's basically the same as George. You know, arrogant fuck. Kick him.
No swearing,
He's a
please.
clown. He's a clown. He is a clown.
Hey, Alan, are you a masochist? Do you enjoy this verbal abuse? Because you seem to get off on it.
I think it's great entertainment. I don't think it's anything more than that.
No, you don't.
So
You don't get any personal pleasure from it at all.
Not really, no.
Why do you keep coming back?
I like Tony.
Okay.
You just said
Yeah,
you don't
I
get any
just wanna
pleasure from it. Now
reiterate-
you're saying
I
you
just
like
really wanna
Tony. So
reiterate
you
the
get pleasure from
format.
Tony then. So when you said you don't get pleasure from it, you simultaneously lied because you then said you enjoy Tony's company.
Yes, Tony's great company.
So when you said you don't get any enjoyment from it, you were lying.
No,
So why the contradiction?
makes it more interesting.
That would be a lie. If you are to assert that you don't take any enjoyment from something and then in the same breath assert that you enjoy someone's company, that is a contradiction. Hello? Alan?
Hi,
Yeah, why the contradiction?
I'm full of them.
Yeah, you're full of them. You're full of shit, that's what you are. Yeah? You come here to poison the well. You've done nothing that's hysterical. You laughed when you wanted to smear him, and then when I got it to repeat it back, you didn't laugh. When I got it repeated a third time, you stated that it's hysterical in the most monotone voice you could use. Hello, Alan. This requires a response from you. Why are you so disingenuous? Why all the contradictions? Why the smear? Why the poisoning of the well, Globehead?
Great content, isn't it?
No, just you being an asshole.
I do think it's a fantastic display of character, Alan, because we get this a lot, and it's just you guys having no fucking clue what to do
Please don't
besides
swear.
this.
Please.
Sorry. This is all you can do, Alan. There's nothing substantial you have to add to this conversation, but trying to smear everybody, you know? And then you say it's good entertainment.
That's what this is, isn't
Don't
it?
you have anything better to do, Alan?
No.
No. Well, that just says it all, right?
Truthful. There's not much out there for me these days.
Oh, right. So when it comes to you, it's okay. But when it comes to other people, especially at the bottom end of the employment ladder, that's not okay.
People at the bottom of the employment ladder?
Yeah, fresh out of university, bottom end of the employment ladder.
You
Fresh
start at the bottom, don't you, Tony?
Yeah, but
You know
why
that.
is it okay for you not to have a lot of options for you to do, but it's not okay for somebody that's at the bottom of the employment ladder?
Well, they don't tend to do anything apart from stacking shelves with old people. Didn't fancy it.
Hey, Alan, do you derive any income from your activities in the flat Earth world?
No, I managed to earn a good living anyway, so I'll be okay.
What is your motivation for being here? It's not clear. You've stated 3 or 4 different reasons, but you show up here continually.
I come for a debate.
And at opportune times. So
come for a debate. Come for a laugh.
It's a little convenient.
You guys are so paranoid. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we've been lied to a lot. That's why we're paranoid.
Do you think that's
it's healthy?
And smeared a lot.
Do you think that's a healthy state of mind?
Yes, we do.
Smeared all the time by people like Sean.
Skeptical?
Well, thinking you're a flying monkey on a space rock is also not a healthy state of mind.
Flying monkey on a space rock.
Yeah, flying monkey on a space rock.
So I'm gathering from that you don't believe in evolution either.
No, not at all.
No, of course not.
Crikey.
Well, every day there are some questions that are placed on the table that is called, what do you say, housekeeping? I think Nathan should just ask him a quick barrage of questions to Alan to see if he says yes or no, and there's the debate, you know? Do you want to answer some questions about radius and distances and stuff, Alan?
No, not really. Not today.
I did find it.
Oh, okay, so you're not here for debate then.
So you're not
Nathan,
here for
I
debate
think that's
then,
actually
Alan?
a really valid point by our friend here. Why don't we ask Alan all those housekeeping questions and see what answer he gives?
I'm not going to answer.
So
But you're
let me
here
get
for a
this straight.
debate,
You're
though,
here-
Alan,
So
aren't
you're
you?
not
Let's
here for
debate.
debate then? You're here to smear somebody only.
You don't believe in evolution.
Excuse me, we've just asked if you will answer the housekeeping questions, the very nature of the debate, and you've very explicitly said no, I'm not going to answer those questions. So you're not here for debate.
Fair point, Alan.
No, first he was muddying the well, and now he's obfuscating
Really?
by switching to evolution.
Alan, you really think, like fish came out of the water and became people and shit?
Fish became people. You idiot.
Well, how is that any more bizarre than monkeys becoming people?
Monkeys didn't become people.
Apparently they did.
So things just came out of the water, grew legs, and just started doing
Have
what
you
they
not
got
seen
to
the
do.
body
Right?
of evidence?
Yeah, I've heard about
Of
the body of
evidence. This
evidence.
guy is hilarious.
Right.
Is there any evidence for macroevolution, Alan?
I don't know.
But you believe it anyway, right?
But you believe it.
I believe in evolution.
The whole body of science.
If you don't believe in evolution, you're of course not credible.
Where do you think we came from? Do you think God made us?
Yes.
I think there's
You
something.
think, you think we came from nothing? You think nothing exploded into everything? That's what you think?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense to you?
Yes. Perfect sense.
Have you ever seen DNA code, Alan?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And you think that those spontaneously came together?
No, it evolved.
Sorry?
It evolved.
It evolved. Where did it start?
In the water.
How? How did the first self-replicating molecule come into existence?
I have no idea. I wasn't there.
So, it's a religion.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. It's built on
You
evidence.
just admitted it. You don't know. So you,
No,
believe,
it's
it.
built-
If you believe in something without proof, you're religious.
No, it's not.
Alan, have you seen the process known as
How can you believe in God then?
Alan, have you seen mitosis?
Mitosis.
It's the process that in science it describes as cell division, but you start with one cell and it literally before your very eyes becomes two. But they call that division. But I call that multiplication, right? I call that creation before your very eyes because one somehow becomes two.
You're not
Don't know how it does
qualified,
it.
though, are you, Tony? You're just a layman. So let's leave that to the scientists.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, right. My point is, though,
excellent.
that is
No
creation
problem.
rather
Sorry, got to
than
interrupt,
evolution.
Anthony. What's your scientific evidence for evolution?
The body of evidence.
Excuse me. Do you not
Body
understand
of
what the words
science.
scientific evidence mean?
You've not been to the museum, Natural Museum?
Sorry,
Yeah.
a museum is not scientific evidence. What
You never
is your
split a rock open as a
scientific...
child and found something
Don't
inside?
rumpus me.
Sorry,
What's-
I can't bloody hear you.
Well, shut up then. What is your scientific evidence for evolution?
The body of evidence.
That's
Right.
not
Do you- Alan,
scientific.
do you
We're just
understand
going
that
around
there's
in
two
circles
types of
with you
evolution?
ignoring my question. Do you not understand?
6 types of evolution.
Well, I was contrasting microevolution with macroevolution, and we all accept that microevolution happens. We do get variations within a species, but there's no evidence of any like species becoming a new species unless you have a really weird, perverse interpretation of the word species, which, by the way, science does. So, where's the evidence of, for example, a donkey becoming a zebra,
Sorry, I
or a
dropped.
zebra becoming a giraffe, or a giraffe becoming a rhino, or a rhino becoming some other animal.
You mental.
Where is the evidence that happens?
The species are related and split off.
Right. So show us where one species.
It doesn't happen overnight, Tony. It's millions of years.
It's not his question.
Right.
He didn't
so
ask.
all these
Does it ask? He doesn't. Why are you ignoring his questions? That's not what he asked you.
Why are you so angry?
Because you're ignoring his questions.
I'm having a lovely chat with Tony.
You're not. You're ignoring his questions and then answering a question he didn't ask. It won't happen overnight. Sorry, was his question, will this happen overnight?
No, he was asking where the missing species are between each one, and what I said is it happens over millions of years.
Sorry, where are they? Would be a location that you give. Where are they? Can you point us towards them? That's not a time duration we're asking for.
Just what's the evidence for macroevolution? That's the question.
Okay, you want me to look at macroevolution?
Just go and get a citation from Aaron Ra and listen to the answer he gives when he talks about macroevolution and how he derives the evidence, and the evidence isn't.
I thought this guy was well versed in English. I thought he had some kind of master's degree. Don't you know what this is?
In English.
Don't you know what it is?
Do you know what
English language? Would you not know what it is?
I do.
So
you believe in evolution, right?
Why do you have to Google it then?
Because I'm not a scientist.
But you believe in evolution?
Yes.
And you're on a debate show?
Yes.
And you haven't got evidence for the macroevolution that is required for your belief to be true?
Tony, I'm not an expert in everything.
You just got belief then. That's all right. So you're just a believer. Hallelujah.
Praise evolution.
No, belief requires blind faith.
Yeah, that's what you've got because you don't have any evidence. Therefore, all you have is blind faith. That's why we repeatedly ask you for evidence and you say, well, it takes a long time. That's not evidence. That's an assertion of your religious faith.
No, it's not.
Oh, no, it's not. That would be a hand wave dismissal while I rip you a new one and point out that you have a religious faith.
You're just angry for no reason.
Oh, that's just an ad hominem. So you have nothing, we have the winning argument, and you are literally giving us back garbage.
No, you don't. You're just...
Oh, another hand wave dismissal. No, I'm afraid we've demolished your argument. You have no evidence. You just have faith.
Oh, really? You're just a bunch of fundamentalist Christians.
Oh, really? Yet another ad hom. Right? None of us are the Christians as far as I'm aware on this panel. If I'm wrong, sorry. For the purpose of this, I'll just speak for myself. I'm not a Christian. So why you would assert this is just to discredit and smear me.
No.
Where did you get the fundamentalist Christian perception from, Alan?
Because Nathan read the script of John Stunger.
Sorry, that makes me a fundamentalist Christian because I have used words that John uses. Oh, right. So, talk about a non sequitur conclusion. No, well, you're wrong. Again, Alan. So, you're not here to debate. You're here to give hand wave dismissals and assert your religious faith.
And use his tactics of obfuscation on subjects.
Yes.
Yeah, so back to the question in hand.
Alan is good. He's wasted. Look how much time he's wasted.
Get back to the question in hand,
We're not
shall we?
talking about shit but him.
Let's get back to the question in hand,
good,
please.
Alan.
Sorry,
That's
guys.
good.
Let's get back to the question in hand. Where's the missing links?
What missing links?
The ones that Anthony's asked you about, that you then gave him an answer about a time period?
No, I
the
think
thing
he
we're
was,
talking
Nathan,
about?
I think he was being very subtle. When he says what missing links, it seems to me like an admission because that's our argument. There is no missing links. So when we say what missing links, we're actually saying that evidence doesn't exist. Were you being coy there, Alan, or were you actually genuinely asking the question?
No, because I'm not sure whether you believe that an animal between a zebra and a giraffe actually exists. Is that what you think evolution is?
Sorry, we're asking you to provide evidence of
No, I
missing
was
links
talking to-
in evolution that you believe in. Don't reverse the burden of proof here, you absolute arsehole.
Talking to Tony, not
I
you.
don't care who you're talking to. I'm telling you you're reversing the burden of proof. Asking him what he thinks we should be provided with. You provide us with your evidence of your religious faith, bonehead.
It's a reasonable question.
Well,
I don't care about your question. The question on the table is where are the missing links you show us to assert your belief with your evidence?
Define the missing links.
No, you show us what you think constitutes missing link. We will scrutinise it.
No, that wasn't the question. Define
My question is where are the missing links? And so far you've told me to define what missing link is. No, just get me what you've got and we'll have a damn good look at it and laugh.
Define them.
No, this is your belief. I don't have to define a damn thing. It's your assertion that we have evolution. I'm not going to provide a damn thing. I'm just going to laugh at you and point out you've got a religion while you fail to provide a damn thing to back your assertion.
Nathan, just allow me for a sec. Alan, the missing link question that you're asking me to demonstrate is macroevolution. Everybody accepts that micro.
Back in a minute then.
Everybody accepts microevolution is a thing. We don't call that evolution. We just call that variation within a
Talking
species.
micro or macro, Tony?
The missing evidence that you need to prove is called macro.
Okay, macroevolution.
Evidence of macroevolution, please.
I wouldn't even narrow it down. I'd just say evolution.
I know, because what they call evolution, right, is both. It's split into two. It's micro and macro. Micro is the variation within a species, right? We get people with different coloured hair, different sizes, heights, and that's microevolution according to their definition. But what we want to see is where a different animal was resulted over a period of time, macroevolution. Now, even if that evidence did exist, for them to prove their assertion is true, they've got to show that genetic gradual definition, the gradual change over a period of time genetically, and then show that it's a new species at the end of it. And they never, ever, 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 ever can do that. So the problem that they've got with their own assertion is their own standard of evidence is so high against them that they can't even prove it. Hence the reason why it's missing.
They tried
I've
to.
heard
Lucy.
their argument on this, which
Plenty
is
of
that
fake
if you
missing
look at a
links.
frog, you know, they will say, well, it starts off as frog spawn, turns into a tadpole, and ends up as a frog.
Yeah, but they've got to show the bit where the frog becomes a lizard.
Yes, but at some point, Ranty, you was a sperm in your dad's sack and an egg in your mum's womb.
And what's that got to do with it?
Exactly same as the frog, but slightly less intelligent.
Yeah, and sod all to do with evolution. So what's your
Yeah,
point?
that's reproduction. Reproduction. Shout out to the Dodo and Aristarchus in the chat.
And to be fair, Alan, what a sperm that was in Daddy's sack.
Yes, a mere glint in his daddy's eye.
So is this you admitting that you haven't got any evidence as you've rejoined the conversation, having gone away to say that you would find something, Alan?
I've been slightly distracted. I'll get back to it.
Oh, really?
So
we hear that a lot. We hear that a lot.
Yeah.
So are we accomplishing anything with this guy being in here?
Oh, yeah, it's called a debate, Ranty.
Yeah, but are we actually accomplishing anything? Have we talked any flat Earth, really?
No, I was going to ask Alan what was his views on the infrared 500-mile observation that can't happen on a spherical pear-shaped spheroid nonsense testicle thing.
Yeah, but what he'll do is he'll just take that and just answer an answer with a question.
I've not seen it.
Oh, what do you mean you've not seen it? Everyone's talking about it. What are you talking about?
I've not been keeping up with the flat Earth debate.
The distraction.
No, that's fair enough. If he hasn't seen it, he hasn't seen it. Come on, Ranty.
That's assuming that he's telling the truth, of course. I don't know how we could not have noticed it. Everyone's talking about it.
Oh, come on, Tony. 10 minutes ago, you were accusing me of being a New York writer.
Name if the cat fits.
He asked you, he said, are you this person? And you said no. And then he asked you a few more questions. Yet another lie.
Yeah.
So you believe that's me?
No, I asked you the question, was it you? I didn't say it was you. I just asked you, is this you?
You got the article?
I do.
Put it up.
No
problem.
If you want to see it, go to the Nathan Oakley channel, and in 24 hours from this broadcast, there'll be the In-Betweeny Bits broadcast as well, so you can see it on there if you want to see it. He's already said he's not him. There's no point as far as I'm concerned, Anthony. Sorry.
Fair enough, I agree.
Okay, let's move on.
So whilst Alan's going...
Alan, do you agree with the statement that chimps have 99% equal DNA as humans?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, great. Then I know what kind of a caliber you are.
Why?
Do you know that it's actually 54?
What difference does it make? We're very similar.
It's knowing where the numbers come from.
Sorry, can you just repeat that?
More
Sorry,
than half of the
54% and 94% are very similar, are they?
No, what science will tell you is that human DNA is 99% the same as chimp DNA. But that's only if you ignore a third of the chimp and almost half of the human. The rest is 99.9% the same. Wow. So you just made a statement that you believed something, Alan, that's not actually true.
Yeah, don't they have one more chromosome? 24.
There's no difference. according to Alan, there's no difference between 99% and 54%.
But I can't verify Mike's figures, so I'm sorry.
I can find you the video from the
Oh, a
university.
video. Who's it by? Morgile.
No, it was actually from the university that did the research.
So you don't believe in the pan line split between a common ancestor?
No.
Where do you think we came from, out of interest?
I think we were created.
You think we came from dirt?
No. God apparently made
Came from nothing.
made Eve from a rib, didn't he? Talking snakes and all that. Do you believe that?
More credible than your dirt.
You shouldn't watch so many evolution videos, Alan.
No, it's in the Bible, isn't it? God's word.
Yeah. It's just a way of interpretation.
No, the word is not rib.
What was it? What was it, Travis?
The word that is used to describe what was happening in Genesis chapter 2 is an architectural term, and it simply means side. So, for instance, when Noah was building the ark, he put up this side and that side. It's the same word. So when we read in Genesis chapter 2 that God took one of Adam's sides, that's the term. It doesn't mean rib. It's not singular like that.
So what did he take?
Well, I don't think he took anything. I think it's an allegory. I don't believe it's literal. So that's one thing.
Do you believe that Noah built an ark and all humanity was wiped out?
I'm sorry.
That's a more complicated discussion than this format and platform allows, and I don't want to hijack Nathan's channel.
Why are we discussing
I'll discuss
beliefs?
it with you if you'd like.
Yeah, let's stay on after.
Is this to contrast your religious belief in evolution, Alan? Because that's all you have also. Just a belief with a load of stories that go along with it.
No, Nathan, I've been quite reasonable, and people can believe in what they wish.
Yes, they can, and that's what you're doing with evolution, believing in it, because you don't have any evidence.
No, there's body of evidence. I'm just asking
evidence?
reasonable questions.
What evidence? Sorry, would it be scientific evidence? Or would it be Mystic Meg evidence?
Mystic Meg?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are videos after videos after videos with people going to the universities and actually asking the professors to provide proof of macroevolution. And you know what those videos all give back? A null result, because they don't have proof. That's from the professors of biology themselves.
So do you think that you found a little gotcha against the whole body of evidence of dinosaurs?
Sorry, what evidence? You haven't presented anything. Sorry,
evidence?
I'll ask again.
No.
Can you present your scientific
You're
evidence,
not-
please, Alan? Can you present your scientific evidence right here, right now for evolution?
Do we have a day trip to the National History Museum?
Sorry, do you need me to clarify what scientific evidence means for you?
Let's go there.
Sorry,
Yeah,
do you
let's
need me
look at
to
wax
qualify what
statues.
scientific
Let's
evidence
go
is, Alan?
evolution.
Because you haven't answered my question. Have
let's
you
talk,
got
Mike.
any scientific evidence of evolution?
Yes, I'm willing to pay for a ticket for you and me to the National History Museum.
Sorry, that tells me that you don't understand what scientific evidence means.
Oh, here we go with quantum erasers.
Oh, here we go with science. Yes, that's right, Alan. Do you understand what scientific evidence means? Because it's not a day trip to a museum, my friend.
Mike, talk to me.
No, I'm talking
Does that
to
mean,
you.
Alan, if I go to a NASA museum, gonna make me believe in rockets go to space? Is that kind of your approach?
Why do you think...
It's an analogy. It's the same. You want to take us to a museum to see whatever data, and you're gonna believe the evolution is true. So the same. If I go to the NASA museum, I'm gonna believe rockets are going out of space.
Why do you believe...
Jose, what are you talking about? He's
just changing the
going to
subject.
believe that there are dinosaurs.
Guys, why are you hijacking this? My question stands. Where is your scientific evidence of evolution, Alan? A day trip to a museum is not, quote, scientific evidence, end quote.
Talk to me, Mike.
Don't you dare, Mike. Where's your scientific evidence for evolution?
I'll take you to the National History Museum.
That's
We can look
not
at dinosaurs.
scientific evidence, you complete retard. Tell
What
me
is
what
it?
scientific evidence means.
No, you tell me.
No, you tell me, because you're telling me it's a trip to the museum, you idiot.
Oh, come on, Nathan. This is a
Not come on.
Let the
I'll
other
ask it
guys
again
talk.
while you
So-
rumpus me, while you continue to talk over me. What is scientific evidence, Alan?
No, somebody talk to me. This guy's so.
I'm talking to you.
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, that's because I've got you in the corner. That's because I'm beating the living shit out of you with your own nonsense and religious faith in evolution. I'm asking for scientific validity to be given to it, and you don't have any.
Your Jeremy Kyle act is boring.
Excuse me, don't ad hom me. You see, when I call you a retard, it's because I've asked a very specific question and you haven't answered it. When you call me Jeremy Kyle, it doesn't come with a winning argument attached. So, I'll ask it again. Where's your scientific evidence of evolution, Alan?
Do you want me to say it again?
Are you going to tell me to go on a day trip to the museum? Because that's not scientific evidence. You are, in fact, a retard if you believe a trip to a museum is scientific evidence. I tell you what, I'll give you my scientific evidence of Batman. We'll go to the Batman Museum and prove Batman's real, shall we?
Oh, I'd like that. Is there a
Oh,
Batman
really? Well, that makes you a retard. If you think a trip to a Batman museum makes Batman real, you complete idiot.
You're crazy.
I'll ask again. What is your scientific evidence for evolution?
Let's move on.
No, we are not going a damn place until you answer me.
You stuttering?
No. What is your scientific evidence for evolution?
Pick a museum, I'll take you to any one.
Right, I'm going to say it real slow because you are in fact retarded. You have a mental incapacity to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. A trip to a museum is not a scientific establishment of a cause and effect relationship. It is not.
Here we go.
Excuse me, why are you laughing while I point out what a retard you are, as you continually assert that a trip to a museum is scientific evidence? That makes you a retard. That's how I give my ad homs, Alan. When I point out that a trip to a museum is not scientific evidence, therefore your assertion is retarded.
Jose, is that a picture of your...
Not Jose. Don't respond to him. If any of you take the bait, I'm going to kick you out. Where is your scientific evidence for evolution? It's about the 5th time I've asked you. I don't want to laugh. I want an answer.
Okay, I'll play along. I'll take you to any museum you wish and we'll get a special...
Sorry, that's the 5th time you have been a retard. Do you have a hearing problem as well as a retardation?
Pardon?
Do you also have a hearing problem?
What?
Repeat after me. A trip to a museum is not a scientific establishment of a cause and effect relationship. It is not scientific evidence. Can you repeat that?
A trip to the museum would be excellent and you'd probably calm down.
Okay. I will assert again that you are a retard who doesn't understand the question because he's retarded or poorly educated. If you don't understand my question, Alan, don't assert that a trip to a museum is a satisfactory standard for scientific evidence. It is not. Do you need me to repeat the question, Alan?
No, I'm bored.
Well, you're going to stay here until I get an answer. You can laugh all you like. What's your scientific evidence for evolution? I'd like it presented or conceded that you don't have any.
Dear.
Is that the sound of you shifting uncomfortably, Alan?
No, that's the sound of me playing PUBG.
Alright, why are you here? To play on computer games?
Well, might as well do. Well, there's nothing else going.
I'm asking you a very direct question. Where is your scientific evidence for evolution? That's my question. It's still on the table. I still haven't had an answer.
Alan has left the building.
Oh, Alan's gone. Good job I had the icons up so you could see that he wasn't booted. He left of his own volition. Coward. You don't have scientific evidence for evolution. None exists. It's just a religious belief.
Watch Tom Hardy.
Was not was is in the chat.
The issue got vanished when the applications moved from PCF 1.x to PCF 2.0.
Watch Tom Hardy.
Of late, we have
I don't see Tom Hardy. I just saw was not was.
issue in the
I think that's was not was.
Just to clarify, Nathan, I just want to correct you on a statement of fact. Alan B didn't leave. Ranty kicked him.
Oh, for God's sake.
I'm only saying it because I don't want him to say that it was wrong what you said and then make a big deal out of what you'd said that was inaccurate.
Oh, can you not kick people, please? I don't know why I'm even asking. I've got sod all control.
I was checking on some people in the chat is interested in knowing a little bit of more Mike's of FE Core information, where people can find his channel or his work. So whenever you get a chance, with the permission of Nathan, he can plug his channel and where he can be found.
If Mike's on the mic.
Yeah, it's me. Hey, John.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer them.
Here we go. Proper talk.
Yeah, one of the guys in the chat, he said, "Where can I find Mike so I can sub to his channel and see his work, or where can they find you?"
Well, we have a FE Core channel, but we decided not to do much publications on YouTube themselves because of the cesspool of ballers that gather around those channels. But my own channel is FE Astronomy, and our corporate channel is FE Core. So yeah, that's where you can find videos that we publish if you want to keep up to date with the research that we actually do. Then there is the possibility of subscribing to our newsletter on the website itself, or becoming an actual member, supporting our cause.
Hey, Mike, I got a quick question for you. What is your opinion on the Chris Monk situation?
I would suggest following up with John.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of background noise, so I didn't get the question.
Yeah, my apologies. My question was, what is your opinion on the Chris Monk situation?
Courtney, is this widespread?
Well, the Chris Monk situation, yeah. Well, I know a lot about Chris that most people don't know. I'm just going to say probably everybody doesn't know. There are only a few people that know this stuff about him. And Chris is a genuine example of a poser. Everything that he says that he is and that he has done, he has not done. And he's basically a psychopath, He's lying, he's being disingenuous, he is misinterpreting data that's not his, for example. And he's trying to do what Alan just tried to do, smear everybody. And that includes me.
What was the point on the gyroscopes that Chris accepted that seemed to be the catalyst for why he went back to the ball, assuming that he'd left it in the first place?
A misinterpretation of inertial measurement units, z-axis rotation data. We have done specific and a lot of tests with optical gyroscopes, mainly that being the fiber optic gyroscope. And as I've told before on the show, that the second that we powered it up, we saw that it had the Earth rate drift that everybody was claiming that all gyroscopes have. So we immediately went on to further narrow it down if that actually is true. So we purchased several different kinds of gyroscopes and expanded that research platform into the inertial measurement units, and we came to a solid conclusion, and we're still performing these tests to make the data I would say, undebatable, unquestionable. There is a drift on both the normal mechanical gyroscopes and the inertial measurement units, but those drifts are inconsistent with Earth rate. And in some cases, it's even so inconsistent that the drift is in opposite direction of the Earth rate, which completely destroys the argument that all inertial measurement units and gyroscope should precess by the same rate. They don't.
So for the point that Chris accepted, what was the specific point that he accepted, or was it accumulation of points?
I don't know the specific point, but from what I've heard from Bob is that he was going around saying that the vector of the fiber optic gyro proves R, and that's ridiculous. You know, I can get the same vector information from a basketball. It's not the same size as the Earth.
So why would he accept that? Why would Chris, in his position and his apparent wisdom and knowledge, why would he accept that what you've just said there proved the rate of the Earth spin?
It's because of that word that you just said, apparent wisdom. Chris is a poser. He's not really an engineer. He's not really smart. He's not really a 3D artist. He just poses to be.
So what you're saying is like Leonardo DiCaprio in Shutter Island?
I haven't seen that movie, but probably, yeah.
We have a term for that. It's called pretender clown.
Yes, pretender clown. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I missed the evolution debate.
That's a different channel, that, but we had an exception for today.
Yeah.
Actually, Anthony, I think
I can't really pin down on what Chris made Chris actually say that, but that was one of the things that I noticed. Is that he was going around saying that the vector of the fiber optic gyro proves R, which is ridiculous and very easily discredited.
I heard a rumor, and I'm not going to say what or where the rumor came from, but is it true that there was a preemptive admission before Chris did what he did, that he was going to do what he did by telling certain people that he was going to, quote, infiltrate FE Core? Did he actually say that?
Yes. Yes. Well, not exactly in those terms, but I have to be careful with what I say to not give the actual source away. There was mention of that he was going to use me specifically to further his own game, and since I'm the president of FECOR, that automatically includes using FECOR. But saying he infiltrated, no, because I was aware of this before we actually formed FECOR.
So basically you were just giving him enough rope to hang himself, and eventually he did what he said he was going to do.
Yes, I let Chris spur all his ridiculous ideas and experiment ideas. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't like any of his posts because they are grandiose for for example, and I just let it go. I didn't help him do anything. I didn't offer him to help him with anything. He was begging to be employed by me, either by FECOR or my own business, and I called him out on it. Because I knew that he wouldn't live up to that. So I basically put out the red carpet for him and said that if he wants to do it, he has to come now. And then he backed out, which I expected. So yeah, it's been a game of chess for a year. But lucky for us, he blew the gun himself.
Yeah, it's interesting that he admitted, or he told people that he was going to do a preemptive attack, and then actually managed or seemed to manage it to some degree. I didn't think he was that calculating. I was surprised when I heard that, and I didn't know how true it was. But
well, he's also been going around that he's a former FECOR board member, but none of that is true because he was never on the board. He hasn't held any title or position. He was just a member.
So what does that make him then? What's the word for that? Does that make it a fraud?
Yes.
Pretender clown. We
Pretender
already
clown,
established
thank
that.
you.
Yeah, we already established that. I wanted to get back to the fairy tale evolution thing. Listen, when these knuckleheads come on here, there's just one question you need to ask them. And somebody's got their watch page going. I'm getting a bad echo.
It's probably you.
All right. So, one question you need to ask them. The debate lasts less than 15 seconds. You ready? What is the scientific theory of evolution? That ends it. So, no macro, no micro. You don't put adjectives in front of fairy tales. And all of a sudden, what you put in front of it is not a fairy tale. So, the question is, what is the scientific theory of evolution? Thanks.
Good stuff. Yeah, well, I asked for scientific evidence, and scientific theories are built on scientific evidence, so my question was similar.
Yeah, well, my question is always, how did the first molecule appear and to be irreversibly complex right off the bat?
Well, you don't have to ask that. You have to ask them because they're claiming that they're evolutionists, whatever that is. You have to ask them to define it. Then the scientific theory of evolution, right? Because it doesn't and has never existed. So all you're doing is chasing these fairy tales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't believe for a second in evolution. I've never believed in it.
Evolution? What's that? You see how this is going?
Yeah.
I don't care if you bring in the king of quackademia, Mr. Evolutionary Biologist. He will not be able to answer that question. You know why? Because it doesn't and has never existed.
Okay, but can you explain, John, how what they've essentially done is taken a convention and started to operate outside of it?
Yeah, the biggest thing is what these crayon munchers will do is they'll go to the taxonomic classification system, right? And they'll talk about species and families and what these species are, what these species do, right? That's a convention inside the taxonomic classification system. All it is a mere convention, right? Anytime, the moment you step out of that convention to make a statement about reality, you're begging the question fallacy from the Black Lagoon. So what they do is they dance around it. They give you the old evolution Texas two-step, start shucking and jiving, and give you the taxonomic classification system, right? That is, it's nonsense. It's a fairy tale. You haven't defined what you're claiming just yet. It's a man-made construct. So any extrapolations off of it is a begging the question fallacy. Simple. So, like I said, again, the only question that they need to answer is, what is the scientific theory of evolution? Scientific theories are very specific. They're going to give you the cause and the mechanism. And nobody on this plane can answer that itty bitty question. Anyone wants to try it?
Yes, I want to know. I have it.
Go on, who has it? Go on, Travis.
What's your observed phenomenon? Is that it? Did I mess up?
No, I want the scientific theory of evolution. Then we'll work.
You were saying they have a cause and the mechanism, but what the scientific method requires is, first of all, an observed phenomenon. So without that.
Correct. But I usually get them with the scientific theory of evolution, and then I work backwards. We don't ever get to what your observed phenomena is, and then the hypothesis. We never get there because the scientific theory of evolution doesn't and has never existed.
One time I saw a baby fall out of a monkey's butt.
I was considering doing a presentation on it, but the presentation would last 15 seconds.
You can snip it out if you want.
We might try to do that. We might try to promote that, and then we'll launch the presentation on the theory of evolution, and then 15 seconds. We'll consider that. Thanks.
Yeah,
no
that
problem.
was short and sweet. Hopefully that question will never come up on the debate again, as it's not particularly flat earthy. Although it is linked hand in hand with the heliocentric deception.
Yeah, it's better than talking about somebody's mic. Who was that?
Yeah, that's us.
I can't. Infinite Plane Society. IFP's mic for 20 minutes, and then somebody brings up evolution. Oh no, we don't need to talk about that. Give me a break.
Yeah, they've got very limited evidence for anything for heliocentric / evolution believers.
So, has Sean Hufford posted the video yet? The Hangout?
No. He has declared that it's not his Hangout, though. So he's come to the conclusion that it's not one of his Hangouts. It must be someone else's.
Oh, is that the news?
That's because his very narrow search window needs to be widened because he's not found the evidence that he believes and needs to prove his friend GeoStreamer to be innocent of all charges.
How many days has he got left? We gave him a month, so I think he's on 18 or 19 days.
He's kind of on 2 weeks now, isn't he? So maybe another week.
Yeah, I think right around 10 days for him to get that evidence. So all this audio stuff, you guys, they get you chasing your tails, right? Most people take the bait with this, right? The audio part, the audio forensics part is irrelevant. He has got to provide the Hangout with soundly making those two statements within 5 seconds of each other. It's quite simple.
Yeah, I agree. It is irrelevant. It's subject and dependent upon the original Hangout existing, and that doesn't exist. That's why he's had to broaden his search. Look elsewhere. He's now looking through Red's Rhetoric Hangouts, I believe. Good luck with that one.
I don't see it as not worthy of doing, though, because they've put their assertions forward with a complete, what's the words we used in the chat, enthusiastic amateur who's directly involved, according to him. So about as biased as you could possibly be and about as underqualified as you could be. But just to contrast that, you know, as flat earthers, we are generally assumed to be complete morons with no experience, no understanding of anything. So to demonstrate that that's absolutely not the case and contrast it to what Sean has done is ultimately the objective. I agree with your assertion. What they need to do to be believed is provide the Hangout that they claim it is. That's as simple as that. That's all they've got to do. And if they don't, everything else is kind of irrelevant, I agree, because they haven't provided the evidence required, and that is the standard. You know, if you're going to say it's a Hangout, you've got to play that Hangout. And the failure to provide that means that they'll be labelled frauds. Now, people in the past have labelled people frauds willy-nilly, here, there, and everywhere. But in this instance, it's like, no, there's a certain weight to what we're actually saying, hence our tentative start. We haven't just immediately come out and said they are frauds. We've said, well, in terms of their science acronym, yeah, they're stupid. But in this respect, it's not beyond reasonable doubt yet. But, you know, given there's a deadline and we've demonstrated, again, you could say the same about Anthony looking for the texted that he quoted to Anthony that I had said. It's just a wild goose chase, and I'd agree. But the fact that Anthony did it and demonstrated he could do it within 24 hours leaves there no excuse for not finding it at the end of the month.
I agree. It's complete nonsense to suggest that it's a Hangout in the first place, but if there is a Hangout, you've got to prove it. And if you can't prove it, then you have to drop your assertion, and it means that, unfortunately, your friend is guilty as charged. It's just the way evidence works. You shouldn't have made the assertion in the first place if you didn't want to have to try and find something that doesn't exist, because it is a requirement of the assertion that you prove it.
Can I just give a shout out to another Flat Earth channel?
You can. I'm about to round out after that. So if there's anything else, does anybody else want to add anything after Auntie?
Yeah, I got one more thing. Go ahead, Ranty.
Okay, Right, so massive shout out to the Horry Sheet Show. I'm going to spell it out in chat for you guys now. So if you haven't subscribed, please head on over there. Try and watch his show when it goes live. He's absolutely fantastic, chilled out atmosphere. He only gets 20 or 30 people watching. He's very underrated, definitely. There you go. I've just put it in the chat, the Horry Sheet Show.
Excellent show. Flat smacking, left and right. I agree with you, Ranty. Excellent show.
Okay, John, you go ahead.
Yeah, back to this evolution thing. Now, all these talking heads out there with their nonsense. Rare and you friggin' clown. I challenge you, you friggin' numpty, and anybody else, this Cy Gart idiot too. You want a shot at the title? I'm sitting right here. I'll whip you around by your short hairs. Clowns. Thanks.
And with that, I'm going to say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate, and of course a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, then you know exactly what to do. But if you liked it, consider sharing it with a friend, or subscribing if you've not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!